You know, so many Christians today are under this false idea, this false assumption that a holy and righteous God would send his son to come to earth and suffer and die on a cross just to allow us to sin as much as we want to in our lives, free from consequence. Now that we're under grace, we can just live however we want to, and we have a free pass to still believe in Jesus and get to spend eternity in heaven as long as we admit that we believe in Jesus and that we believe that he died for our sins or whatever. Now we're forgiven for our sins, and so there's really no consequence to anything that we do. But that's not what God intended whenever he sent his son to come and suffer and die on a cross for us. It wasn't meant to give us a free pass to live however we want to. All that would have done was cause more and more sin in the world instead of less. And why would a holy and righteous God intend for that to be the consequence of his son dying on a cross? No, Romans 2:4, Paul says, "Can't you see how wonderfully kind, tolerant, and patient God is with you? Does this mean nothing to you? Can't you see that his kindness is intended to turn you from your sin?" And later on in Romans chapter 6, Paul says, "Shall we continue in sin so that grace may abound? Certainly not. How shall we who have died to sin live any longer in it?" So God allowed his son to come down here and suffer and die on a cross to reveal his love for us. And that kindness was intended to turn us from our sin, to give us a desire to want to live a life free from sin, as a way of showing gratitude for the free gift that God gave us, not out of reluctance or out of obligation in order to earn salvation for ourselves, but as a response to God's kindness. God loved us enough to live the life that we couldn't live, come down here and then suffer the death that we deserved, to reveal his love for us, so that he knows that we're not perfect. He allowed us to be able to make mistakes and be able to get back up and keep moving forward and still have the ability to spend eternity with him. Because now we put on the righteousness of Jesus Christ and allow that to blanket us and give us a pass into heaven, but not a free pass through life to live however we want. So if you truly love God and you understand how much God loved you and loves you, don't use his grace and kindness as an excuse to continue living in sin.